and 10 rounds for Na'Vi to the 2 of Big.
Oh, it's another 1v1 after plant situation, James. Another one. And again, Big had that man advantage. You know, there's that 1v1 that Electronic takes there to make it a 3-3. So many moments where, again, the stars for Na'Vi really shine and pull them out of a bad situation. And it is starting to get incredibly bad here for Big as we get, once again, the pistols in play as they go for the eco. And Na'Vi quite content to run the full AK setup, don't need an AWP, and they're keeping the pace on fast here. Flamey looking for an early pick in towards the A bomb site. And Zeus in a forward position as well. They are hammering this upper bomb site.
Relentless pressure from Na'Vi, relentless pressure. Don't give them time to think. Zeus almost getting caught up, but he's got help in the name of Simple. But now the bomb's been lost and it's fallen through the door. That is a very tight choke point, but Next is trying to force the issue. And Tabson's here at the back. They know that Zeus is still in Pop Dog as well. Man advantage continues for Na'Vi. A flying Tabson takes out Zeus. 2-on-2 to try and control his bomb. And now Edward is going to do it. 11-2 for Na'Vi.
How many kills were around that door position? That's kind of weird. But I suppose it was an eco round after all. And now we're back into the buys. And it has to change. You know, we keep saying this for Big. You know, it has to change. And you know, this is their chance to maybe get four rounds to work with at least.
The fact that Na'Vi are happy in their booth is quite telling of how dominant this is. Because business as usual is to have some heated conversation. So this is quite the performance from Na'Vi.
Indeed, it is actually.
This is a mirror of the first game.
It's true. Just on different sides. So the CT side is. Or sorry, the T side is the CT side for Big. That's getting shut down so hard. And Smooya changes his position up. We've seen him outside with the AWP many times, but this time can be taking a peek from the secret position. But Na'Vi, they've got so many players coming his way. Must be careful. Tabson looking for anyone coming over the silo area. Creeping on top of main. 3 players here perhaps, or 4 in fact, for Smooya to deal with. How will he play it?
We are not live, we have been told. For whatever reason, we are NL, not live, not live, not live. And Nex is having an issue. He will reconnect to the server. So, time for Big to think. It was 2-11 in the first game. It is 2-11 in the second game. This would be a very fast dispatching of Big from the tournament. This would be Big jettisoned into the sun, burning in the atmosphere, unceremoniously.
Yeah, it will be just like, it's just a different weight class here. I mean, Na'Vi are playing the heavyweight and the lightweight comes into the ring and just gets absolutely smashed. You think you're the king of the world, but Na'Vi is really sending a statement to them saying all the things that they need to do better to step up to the task of defeating Na'Vi, which is so much. Because if we think about the way Na'Vi have been playing, James, these individuals are already just performing their roles incredibly well. If something goes wrong, the individual skill is just so clean and on point that all the clutches go their way as well. So there's so much for Big to adjust to.
A moment to reflect. I think we have seen a slightly nervous Big so far, but it's never too late to turn things around. We've seen many a comeback. But do they have it in them? Nuke appears to be a masterstroke for Na'Vi so far, only dropping 2 rounds of 13. And we move into the last 2 rounds of the first half, and we're not far away now.
Yeah, and I think it was a fun point that you mentioned about the temperament in Na'Vi's booth. It is, I think it's Simple that has said, when questioned about how maybe sometimes aggressive things look in the Na'Vi camp when they're communicating with each other, that actually, you know, they're really heated games is where they get to play their best performances. And to see them just happy is really weird. I don't think I've ever really seen that too often from them. So it's interesting to see how that dynamic works. And looks like we'll be going back into the game. Can Big bring themselves back into the game? That's the question.
Maximum of 4 rounds on their CT half. And it doesn't look likely. Can they get past 2? Simple vintage plays opening the squeaky door on AWP. You used to see it from the window as well, but now there is no window in the hut. The window was bricked up.
Ikke?
Oh, see the spam through the wall there and in through to lobby. That's so 1.6.
Ikke.
That is amazing. Well, Smooya once again staying around that secret position. again, moving from playing outside with the AWP could be what they need. You can take some really strong angles where you can take a shot and then fall back without being traded. You just have to hit the shots. That's all you have to do. And sometimes sounds a bit more simple than it really is, because when those flashes start coming your way, let's see if Na'Vi do that. Will they flash this or dry peek? It's a dry peek and Smooya gets it. That's a good start from him.
And he can re-peek again and take another shot if he wants to, but he'll take the safer route. It has been an arduous task for him to get some kills in this game of Nuke, and Edward will get taken out. Not quite working for him. Tizian needs to move away from the grenades. We've seen plenty of them up there from the teasers they've planted on the back of B. 3 versus 5. 3 CTs towards that ramp position. Nex and God B are elsewhere. How do Na'Vi do some damage at the very least in this round? Simple trying to do as much as he can, but he'll settle with that one.
Yeah, that is so important, just thinning those numbers ever so slightly. Zeus helps out the cause as well, picks off one himself. And now a 3v3 all of a sudden. That is a really big start here for Na'Vi in this afterplant, but tabseN has something to say about it. But around the smoke, Zeus does more damage now down to Smooya with the AWP. It couldn't be more awkward. These T players playing control room there, throwing the nades. He goes forwards, doesn't know which way to look. Flamey finishes him off, and it's another round, James, where a 5v3 turns into a win for Na'Vi, the team being on the 3.
A 5 versus 3. Get one kill out of it. Unable to trade. Nuke proving to be very difficult for Big.
And I love that from Na'Vi. Again, it's a situation with 3v5. If we're going to win this round, we have to find a way to take the initiative quickly, send them into disarray, get a pick. They send Simple with a flash, and that's exactly what it does.
Yeah, that's true.
Na'Vi dropping an AWP in. Oh, they've got an auto sniper. Simple. What are you doing with that? Where is Simple going with the auto sniper? This is very curious. There is an AWP, an AK, sorry, and an AWP behind him. So they have the choice of all the tools. This is cheeky, this is BM, and I think this is just a great confidence play. Even if he gets no kills, just let it ring out, just to impress your opponent a little more.
Das ist die Master G, wenn du läufst, Junge.
Yeah, and you can be such an unforgiving map when you feel like you can't get chances to do stuff, and that must be how Big feel. And
yeah,
I'm scared for them that
was jetzt hier kommt?
We'll see. It is indeed a 4v5 here for Na'Vi, so they're off on the worst foot. But they do have the better weaponry overall. And Smooya spots ahead. Oh no, he couldn't find the connection. That's a massively big miss there for him. And now we get Tizian stepping up to the plate, doing the damage, being the guy that Big needs, James. He's going to actually secure for them the 3rd round on the board. That's something at the very least.
It is something. Every round important towards the end there for Big. But now they must do it the hard way. 12 rounds just to tie the score on the T side. Now, they won the pistol in the first half. They need to win the pistol in the second. Na'Vi won both pistols in the first game. But winning the pistol has only been good for 3 rounds. 3 completely separated rounds in this game so far. 6 seconds until we continue. A lot of utility on the Big Clan. Where on earth are they headed?
Fast so erfolgreich wie die Nacht, meine
deep breaths, this pistol rounds, as you mentioned, it can be so impactful.
Ja, heute habe ich mitgemacht.
Na'Vi, they've got so much confidence. They can take some big risks here. Really put some in the wounds.
Waren knapp 2 Entchen schon. Ups.
For the big side. See, push outside.
Sonst nichts oder was?
Flamey, see what damage he can do.
Dieses scheiß Waffenteil hier.
And we'll see whether or not there is any play here for Big in the early phases of this round. So far, not too much, but now the nades start flying, and we get the shots ringing there from Simple. Takes an elevated position. There is one taking down Smooya. More to follow, perhaps. The Simple pushes the issue. Tizian says no once again. And they'll continue to push into the upper bomb site as Edward lays the fire down. It is quite the ball here. Going 1-for-1 both teams, but finally, perhaps there could be a chance here. It is indeed going to go the way of Big. That's exactly what they needed.
Ich habe ja ein bisschen noch nebenbei gedroppt.
75 gekostet, nur?
Ja, die hätte also 75 hat sie heute Morgen gekostet.
Ich hab für 90 vertickt.
Okay, nee, die günstigste, die ich gesehen habe, waren 75.
Also wie oft will der Typ mich noch anschreiben? Von gestern 5-mal, immer so nach einer Stunde mal wieder. Auf H23C für den Steering.
The pistols out for Na'Vi, the scouts on Simple, and pretty much all of Na'Vi have been looking pretty hot. Edward has had a lot of focus on him of late, but he's looking pretty good so far. So don't assume any round is for free here.
Yeah.
Simple looking for something, looking for a tag. Smooth's taking light damage. But what is the play here from Big? Flamey's been looking dangerous with this Desert Eagle running distraction because Electronic is lined up, but there'll be no frag for either.
4 MAC-10s, what you gonna do? Looks like Zeus with the 5-7, looking for some cheeky shots through the door, get flashed away, and the MAC-10s will do their job. And a very clean simple round here from Big, not overcomplicating things, and that's one of the reasons why the MAC-10s can be fun. You know, you can easily run together and accurately, with that running accuracy, do some good damage, trade out for each other, move quickly.
Hast du irgendwelche Maps-Ecke? Ein kleinen jetzt?
To really make sure this round goes your way. And it has gone very well for them. There was some, I was worried when we were watching Flamey's perspective, holding those angles of the deagle. I can just see it happening, those headshots coming in, but Big will avoid all of that noise and continue on to convert. And that's good to see, because as you mentioned, James, it's not really been the trend, has it?
One round
Die eine Map laufen will jetzt hier, man gut leveln kann,
7 times to tie the score, but just one by one.
Lohnt sich jetzt
read
noch
of your
nicht.
opponent's economy, your expectations.
Ich hab eine, also.
And again, it's Big. They are one of the teams with these.
80 warten oder so.
And yeah, it has not been the case, Dan. These consecutive rounds. They look good for this round though, unless Edward goes absolutely interstellar with this eagle.
Jetzt ist die Anagon River C-Map mit dem Elderfell. Was ist das?
Dangerous one. Looks like a fast play into the A bomb site with a timing for some flashbangs. Looking towards the roof, spotting one player there. No bouncing Zeus player, but the Max will be enough. 3 kills, and that is a very clean take of the A site. Double Molotovs up the top, only one will do the job. And that's pretty much this round done. So there we go. Big looking to move to half the score of their opponent. And then who knows from there.
Yeah, this is what you love to see. Can they keep it clean? Oh, yes. Beautiful. And yeah, that's absolutely what you want to see. It's Big running a similar kind of round, very fast with the MAC-10s. You don't give the pistols any time to really do anything. It's very easy for you to gain space quickly, to get the position you want, to get the bomb down. Those MAC-10s are really good in those rounds. So good to see that for Big. It pays off. And you know, now we start to see, okay, you know, what has Na'Vi got under their sleeves? You know, of course, we won't see the AWP just yet. Their economy's a bit too frail for that. But we will have some M4s and some light utility. So they're always a danger, as you say.
tabseN moving to the outside. Zeus and Electronic outside. Zeus has made his way into main. He's got some spray, but there are so many targets for him. And the grenades continue. Will they expect Simple on the hut, however? That is a question. And now they know Gobby taken out 4 on 4. Virtus Pro has some great double HE executes towards that main position as well. And we may have seen a similar thing there from Big. So many grenades, couldn't keep track of them all, but here we are.
So one thing to think about as well is that Electronic and Flamey do not have helmets. And so that means the MAC-10s will be slightly more powerful than otherwise. And it is a worry having the 2 MAC-10s on a round where you're up against these rifles. Can they really perform? Or if you are lucky enough to face off against the players with no helmets, they can absolutely deliver. And we'll see the smokes outside, so that's going to suggest, oh dear, there's a miscommunication there about where the smokes are supposed to go. Don't think it matters too much though anyway, as the push comes into the A-bomb sites.
Nerves, Dan, nerves. Will it get to them? They start to creep in. Edward, how many kills is he good for? There's a 1v1. Will he expect more players though? There's a second one taken out by Flamey. Is it a crossfire for the CTs? They are shutting this down. tabseN with 8 HP versus 3 players. He needs 1 shots. He needs to avoid grenades. Electronic has the HE. I don't know if he's in position. There is the first one. Moving away again, just in case. He has the bomb, but he'll get these sound cues. Flamey is above him in the A-bomb site. They know where tabseN is, and now the rotation is starting. There are 18 seconds to plant this bomb. Will he even be allowed? Look at him by the door, Electronic. tabseN's got the right plant, though.
Here's the running. Can he get a quick shot? No. Denied by Electronic, and Edward, absolutely the hero of that round. It really looked like they were going to lose the rounds. Edward gets that second 1v1. It really feels like he shouldn't be getting that, but just credit to Edward being able to adjust so quickly. And then here it is. You just see the frags start to stream in as then Flamey's in position and has Edward to play off of. Oh, that's another round that's really hard to lose, James. That's really difficult for Big. They know they should have had that.
I feel like we're seeing some really uncharacteristic things here from Big again. 2 smokes in the same place. I don't think I've ever seen that from this team.
True.
And again, they have these booths are elevated. They can see the entire crowd, and I do wonder.
Oh, that's scary.
And there's next level harassment.
They've gone for the double orbs here on the T side of Nuke. That's interesting. The orbs are not very mobile, not very dynamic. So with the AKs, you can move very quickly as a team. So the orbs, and having double orbs means that you have more of an investment in trying to get pickoffs. And if the CT side knows how to deny those, then it can be very difficult. You play a slow round, then you have to push into a bomb site. With the orbs, it gets very awkward.
High flash. Now, if somebody's further away, the flash only lasts for a very short period of time. Sometimes you need not even look away. Flamey hears footsteps towards the side, towards ramp, but that's a great position from him. The gun exposes Gobi's position, and Bigger falling to pieces once more. 3 versus 5. The bomber's been lost on the ramp. Could even get smoked off later on. Maybe not smoked off, but there is a molly in play, and now there are 2 players towards that ramp position. Once again, it's a disastrous situation for Big, and these players need to frag out. But as soon as Nex looks away, maybe the CT will start to push. He saw the flank was coming in, but Nex has been dealt with, it seems.
Fabian.
I've got Tabson and Smuya remaining. He's got 1 player, but he can't get the kill. Now Smuy's alone in a 1 versus 4, with Na'Vi looking to move towards 14 rounds. Very strong position for the CT side.
This is getting kind of hard to watch for, from Big's perspective. It's really difficult to see them, in some of these positions that they're in, looking like they're not as confident as they normally are, as you say, missing some of that, utility or miscommunication, or, whether it's the pressure, what it is that's getting to them. But for Na'Vi, I mean, obviously they're having a good time here, and we're going to see Big pulling out the UMP, the CZs, the MAC-10. Signs of a desperate time for Big.
You can see Smuya talking to the team, discussing something, what they want to do. With a very limited... Will they be in the right places this time? There's one, there's the other one, and there is a Molotov behind them. So, round of applause. However, they were pretty ill-timed. One going down very early, and I think Na'Vi will be confident that there is no player in secret at the moment. Electronic standing in those smokes towards secret, so they can focus elsewhere, Na'Vi.
Plus a pretty decent nade from Zeus as well. Really feeling that push coming into play. Simple goes close with the AWP. The battle sniper got Edward up high for support as he rains damage from that position. Good vantage point. Oh, the shotgun comes out, but there it is.
360 MLG!
Simple gets it done. Tizian taken down. Left to Tabson. He is eliminated as well. Simple putting that all straight through his chest. And that is 15-6. Match point here for Na'Vi to move into those semis.
Simple's playing Call of Duty on the A bomb site. Spinning around with a PlayStation controller and still getting a kill. Match point for Na'Vi. Just a 6th round for Big. Another 4 spike, 2 rifles, a bunch of pistols and bits and bobs and pops and pans for Big. A tactical timeout from them. Nex hasn't bought just yet. This is a nightmare for Big.
At this point, what is that left to say? What is there left to do? 1 round, and that's Na'Vi through, and that's Big eliminated. Deep breath here as the headsets go back on.
There we go. 10 seconds now. What may be the last round for Big. It's been 3 rounds in a row for Na'Vi. Since the buy round, basically, it has been all black and yellow. They are so well equipped, Simple with the AWP. They've got 2 AKs on their team. They've got more AKs than the T side.
Simple so ready for this. Na'Vi starting off well. Edward picks off Gobi, finds the headshot. Simple making shots, moving around, constantly repositioning, even though he hasn't been spotted just yet. Rattling off shots left and right as Smuya looks for the peak. Simple is in such a deep position at this point, it's going to be hard to find him. Oh, he spots an elbow, finds the shot onto Tabson. There's the trade coming out, but it's a 2 versus 3 here now for Big. His next trades, it is chaos in the outside positions as Big desperately try to scrape together another round.
Running all over the place, but one CT can hear them. Flamey taken out now, next versus 2. Does he dare even pick up a stronger weapon? He doesn't have the bomb just yet. He's looking for players maneuvering into better positions instead. He has a minute on the clock. Now, Zeus is moving through secret. He's not going to be found anytime soon. Edward is on that ramp position, but Next is so far away. This is such a long rotation. He can't really afford to go around that way. So we'll take the high ground advantage now. We're asking a lot of Next. He knows he can't walk all the way here. Would compromise too much time. Checking the outside. He has to assume that they know where he is now. And indeed, I'm pretty sure they do. 29 seconds. Bomb has been collected. You can see Edward in the held position. Next is going to get shots in the back, surely. Gets around the corner just in time. Edward playing passive. 17 seconds now. He's got to plant this bomb. Edward on the ramp. Zeus in the vents. Will he find the right angle?
He's going to get crunched. There's nothing left to do. 16-6. Na'Vi straight through to the semis here at London. And what a performance from them. From start to finish, pure class. This is a team that's bringing a new level to this major. And big, they couldn't find their level, James. They couldn't find their playoff performance.
That was a very one-sided game of Counter-Strike. Looks very comfortable for Na'Vi. Had no answers on Dust 2. All the flanks on the CT side of Na'Vi were absolutely ridiculous, especially against teams such as Big. And nothing doing on their CT side on Nuke either. So went from bad to worse for them. Na'Vi look very, very strong. And you have to consider them a massive contender moving forward in the bracket.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the top teams in the world, the top 3 team, absolutely. And on the stage, you can see them with that trophy. Obviously, it's not theirs to lift just yet, but with the performances like that, you can absolutely expect a hell of a fight from Na'Vi. They are one of the absolute favorites for sure.
Yes, they are looking even more dangerous. We saw a good performance from Edward, I think we could say. 20 for 14 on Nuke. The whole team delivering for Na'Vi in that. And again, it was just so one-sided. Can anybody stop them? That's a giant question for the rest of the teams to answer.
Yeah, and one thing I really liked from Na'Vi here is we saw just a great display of just good basics. You know, it's what you see from Astralis, a team that they can throw great strats and tactics and some counter strats here or there, but it's that level of basics where it feels like we can't counter you because you're just playing incredible Counter-Strike. And when the SARs are just performing like that, it is so hard because then the clutches, if you manage to somehow break them, then you've got these crazy clutches to win against the best players in the world. It's quite a task, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And that's, again, that's the first UK player up and the first UK player out. Very disappointing in that regard for the home crowd. But we've got one more to come today. So maybe there is hope for UK Counter-Strike after all. But I'm sure Big will be very disappointed when we're able to show themselves at all. I feel like in that best of 3 series, but Na'Vi look absolutely amazing.
And it is an enormous tournament, and it's an enormous moment for Big, but it's one of many. They're a team that has grown from strength to strength, and they're continually evolving. We have no reason to believe that they can't, with more experience, deliver their very best on this stage.
Yeah, and we have to see if they continue with this international roster or if things will change in the future. But so much more Counter-Strike to be seen here at the SSC Arena. It's a Thursday and it's already completely packed out, almost completely full today. I can't wait to see when everybody's here on the weekend. It's going to be really interesting. We are just waiting for some people downstairs to pick up a microphone. So indeed, Freya is ready on the floor with Na'Vi.
Yes, indeed, guys. I am here with the winning side, Na'Vi. So simple, how does it feel to have taken down Big and be heading to the semi-finals?
First of all, welcome to the major, Wembley. I mean, it feels really good because we actually not winning like this, you know. Our games sometimes really close, but yeah. That was a really good victory for our team. We have more confidence now. And yeah, we're looking forward for our next game.
Because you guys look so calm and collected throughout that whole series. What was the team's mentality like coming into this quarterfinal?
I think it's because we had a good mental preparation before the game. It was like had a team talk and said that we need to play just our game. And when you win in games like this, it's always less emotional because you're winning this big score. And that's why we didn't do some crazy emotions, but we are happy.
So just going back to Big's map pick, Dust 2, you guys looked absolutely phenomenal, especially on that CT side. What worked so well for you?
I mean, our rotation to this map worked really well because we have a really bad streak. We had really bad streak, and we practice it every day. And there was a lot of mistakes and all the stuff.
Fabian, lass die
and,
Leute doch mal
I
jetzt
hope
in
we
Ruhe,
fix
Alter.
this. So now we are feeling more confident after our first victory on these maps.
Hey, wenn ihr
So do
den
you
da
feel
immer
there were any
Leckerli
weaknesses that
hinschmeißt.
you were able to exploit on that Big side on Dust 2?
Leckerli.
You mean which weakness? Our?
Of Big,
Was, sie
was there
schmeißen dir
anything that you were
Leckerli hin?
able to just persist at and get through?
I think they
Wer ist denn
didn't
das?
play their
Leckerli.
game because they usually rushing long or doing some fast
Oh.
runs. but
Das ist mir zu viel, sonst hätte
they
ich
didn't
gesagt,
do
schmeiß
this
aber
and
was
they
hin.
played like they were maybe afraid of
Ja.
some stage or us, I don't know. And that's why we won, because they played slow rounds and it didn't work for them.
Cool, so just going on to Nuke, that was a bit of a surprise for everybody, especially on the analyst desk. What was your thought process picking that map?
I mean, that's their 5th or 6th map. We saw they're playing it against Gambit and Complexity, and we knew how to play against them. We knew that they're not going to expect this map for us to pick. They thought it's going to be either Overpass or Inferno. But yeah, we just saw what they're doing. We understood that nothing special. And we just decided to pick it and don't show our other maps.
Now, Flamey, you had an incredible performance on Nuke. What do you think enabled this?
I don't know, I just played my own game and it worked. So nothing special, but I'm happy that I played better than in group stage or previous tournaments.
Now, going into the semi-final, you guys will either be facing MIBR or Complexity. Simple. Who do you want to be facing?
Complexity?
Do you want to take down another British boy?
I mean, like Complexity surprised everyone on this tournament. I'm looking forward what they're gonna do against MIBR. Of course, MIBR have more experience on stage. They're controlling their emotions. I don't know. They're both strong teams. I wish them good luck, and we're just gonna practice like we practice for every opponent. But it's better to play against MIBR because there's like players like Cold Zero, Fallen Fair, this trio. They're really good. All of them won the major already, you know. So we just want to play against maybe a major winner or upcoming great team Complexity.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time, and congratulations again on that win. Alex, what do you make of that over on the desk?
Fantastic stuff from Na'Vi, and Simple and Flamey taking the time for the interview and letting us know that they knew what was going down in that veto. They played their cards and they played
But
their
wer Arid
8
Lake
rounds is all Big managed to muster across 2 maps, a best of 3 and the quarter-finals.
Arid Lake?
It was so anticipated, and that's the danger when a
hab
game
ich.
is so hotly
Tier
anticipated. When
2.
it is, you know,
Ja,
do
hab
or
ich.
die time, and you feel like you've already done a lot of hard work to get
Ich
there.
hab sie geschaped.
Sometimes the
Der
experience will
Fabian
get the better of you.
ist
Yeah, but we
unten Kringel
highlighted one of
reingeschmissen.
biggest strengths being the fact that they're prepared or can be
Hat
prepared
sie die
for their
2 roten
opponents.
Kringel
They
vorhin
got outgamed
reingeschmissen,
there
oder?
and in the veto, and I actually thought that they
Kannst
had
wieder
more
rausnehmen.
depth in the map pool. But
Das
Na'Vi have just
stimmt,
made a
okay.
massive statement, right? Beating Big, who took down FaZe on Dust 2 in that convincing fashion.
Yeah.
It's their 6th
Und
best
alle,
match.
die ich
You know,
hab,
there's only
wenn ich
7 in the
welche eins
pool,
brauche,
and they're
weil
able
ich
to do it in that fashion. It means that you can't be confident to pick it against them going forward now, and that's a really positive sign for Na'Vi in this tournament.
And they're also confident enough to pick Nuke into
Yes.
Big. And Big is a decent Nuke team, I have to say. And just look at the score. Big won both pistol rounds on Nuke.
Oh my
They're
goodness.
starting on the CD side.
Immer dieses
They
scheiß
got 6
Level
rounds.
machen,
Not
ey.
only that, Simple was the lowest fragger
Was
for
machen?
Na'Vi on this map. They
Immer
still
leveln.
won 16-6.
Kopf,
Isn't that insane? You don't normally see the Na'Vi storyline unfolding like that.
If you're Complexity or MIBR, as they spoke about, their next opponents, you have learned nothing from this best of 3. Normally, the quarterfinal, you want to see your opponent tested and see what their panic buttons are, see what their ways out of dire situations are. There was very little going on in that Na'Vi booth. You saw that victory, it was just like dust off the shoulder, and they start setting sights on that semi-final. But a moment to talk about Big. I mean, this was a huge opportunity for them. They've already done damage, of course, throughout the Legends stage, and now it just seems like the stage did best them.
Yeah, this is going to suck. It's going to feel like they didn't show up, and that is is the case. They just weren't even a part of this. It looked like there was a lot of arguing going on within the booth within the early stages, especially in the first map, and that carried across to the second map. You could see bickering there. Everybody, that round with Tabson in lower, where all he had to do was deny the plant, and Zeus covered, and that was it. You could just see the disbelief in his face. He was just staring at the screen. He couldn't believe it.
How many times were we observing a big player's perspective, and you see the X-ray of an electronic just kind of going,
Ey.
You were dead.
yeah, that's the end
Das
of
ist
that.
so eine
I mean,
richtige
it was
Nutte,
just
ja.
glorious from an
So
individual
viel Müll
standpoint.
kannst du gar
It
nicht
was just
haben,
such
Alter.
an inspired C design
Wo findest
from
du den
Big. They
ganzen
didn't do
Müll?
anything special. They never tried to deny the wall of smoke outside. We saw one of the few last rounds. Now they actually threw the wall of smokes, just walked down B. No one spammed for
Was
the smoke.
verkaufen
Just
du?
tried
Auch
to
die
walk down
Fossilien, ja,
into
ne?
B, traded them out, and just won the round. So uninspiring.
Yeah, but this is the thing now.
Ja,
I
die
want you to
Fossilien
just
in der
kind of
Dunkelheit, ne?
get, Chad, you've had your
Geben
fair
echt
share
gut.
of big games, kind of, well, where big are now. You've been there before, is where I'm trying to take this. Now, my question is, you know these players, you've spoken to these players, you've been there.
Dafür
What
muss man
happens
halt die
next?
Wege
They're
auch
going to be very disheartened,
laufen
right? The
können.
fact of the matter is that they look at that matchup and think no one showed up individually. When we're highlighting a player like Smuya, who had the highest rating from the previous stage, he wasn't there. But I think, the fact of the matter was, Flamey touched on it well. They didn't play their own game. They weren't doing the stuff that they'd normally be doing on Dust 2.
Wenn sie alles
And
aus der
that
Dings
means you
weg.
can't just play Counter-Strike where you need to be prepared. You need to be more adaptive. And that's a very big strength of Na'Vi. They have players who can adapt to any situation. And you can see how good they can play when they're prepared. It wasn't a close match. It wasn't a slugfest. It wasn't a